Thank you. We're back. We're back again. Apologies, we had a bit of some technical issues. So we're back live again. As I was saying earlier, this first and foremost is to welcome every one of us back, especially our NTEACH volunteers. It's the back to school season, and I know you're settling down. And I also hope that you had a good holiday and you had a good time. Also impacting on your communities. We've commended every one of you that has sent us your stories about what you've done in your various communities to impact on your people. We commend that spirit of service. That's what Npower is. That's what you're doing, and that's also you are impacting upon those your fellow community members. As you resume back to school, and now also to speak not just to NTEACH volunteers but also to our agric and our health volunteers, please just remember that this is serious business. I've always said that's Npower, a serious business, a serious investment. This is a serious investment that the President has made in each and every one of you. So please take it serious. By that I mean that your attendance at your primary place of assignment is not negotiable. You are full-time volunteers for the period while you are in the program. And if anything changes in your situation that does not permit you to be full-time, we expect you to toe the path of honor, like many of you have done, and notify us and exit out of the program. So please, attendance at your primary place of assignment is not negotiable. You've seen a lot of examples. We've used a lot of you, a few of you, because in comparison to the total number, you still pale in percentage. You're not even up to 1% yet, but it's still a good number, which we have used to show that we mean business. Those of you that have been found to be absent in your places of assignment, or those of you who have also, for one reason or the other, have been recalcitrant or not taken to correction, and reports have been made to us, you know that we have put you on payment hold, and by extension also we have put you on device hold as well. So please, I encourage you to recommit yourself to this life of service as you resume back in your primary places of assignment. I hope you're also doing well. Generally, I also want to charge us to please take good care of our health. We receive news of some of our volunteers who have transitioned. It's our prayer that may their souls continue to rest in peace. So for me, I want to encourage you that please take good care of your health as well. Health is wealth. So don't joke. Don't joke with your health. And don't self-medicate. I know some of you are in hand health, that you're in a hand health component, or that you're in a primary health center is not a license to self-medicate. If you notice anything, anything funny in your body, please go to dispensary, go to primary health center, or go get yourself checked. We don't want to have any more life loss whilst you remain with us in the program. So today I'll just be touching base. It will be very brief because time is quite fast spent, and I know that you've been waiting for us since 8 o'clock. Apologies, there were quite a bit of other official assignments that are taking me out of circulation, and then we also had a bit of technical issues. But we'll try and spend the few minutes we have, to ensure that we have an interaction. In terms of devices, I'm aware that device distribution has started. It has started in Lagos, and indeed it's ongoing in Lagos. It's ongoing right now in Lokoja, in Kogi. I did get some feedback from some of you who received your devices, and some of you have also gotten notices to come pick up. It's actively also going on in Bauchi, at the MTN service centers in Adamawa, in Cross River, in Akwa Ibom, in Abia, in Imo, in Benue, in Jigawa, in Ebonyi, in Kano, in Sokoto, in Delta, in Enugu, in Kaduna, in Oyo, in Niger, in Abuja, in Rivers, in Katsina, in Zamfara, in Ogun, Ondo, Edo, Anambra, and Plateau states. Now, these are the states where we have termed them active distribution. Now, let me say to you, these devices are for those of you who belong to batch A. By batch A, I mean you don't have payment issues and you were able to select your device on the MPVN portal on or before March 27. So there's no need to rush. There's no need to fall on top of each other. If you fall into that category, then we have your devices. Now, the other thing to note is we are working with MTN to help in distributing to the last mile. So what you will do, you will get an SMS notification that specifically tells you where you should go to pick up your device. I'm aware there have been a few glitches here and there, and in some centers you go, either the center does not open as early as the SMS reads, or sometimes the center is not quite ready to issue your devices, or sometimes they have quite few attendants in the service centers to cater for you. As we receive those feedbacks, we pass it on to Bank of Industry, who is the financial partner, and MTN, and then I get the confirmation that they are improving by the day. So please bear with us, keep sending us your feedbacks, bear with us, and we take your feedbacks and they keep using it for improvement. However, some of you who may have also selected devices before March 27, in other words, you're in batch A, if you're on payment hold, please don't bother going to want to try and pick up a device. If you're on payment hold, you are not only on payment hold, you're also on device hold. Now, even if you did get the notice, you will realize that by the time you get to the center, they will tell you, sorry, your device is on hold. So that's what it is. No one, MTN is not holding your device. Your focal persons are not holding your device. Anyone that's got a device hold, it is authorized by us. The other reason, I must also speak then to those of you who are in, some of you, especially those of you in the NAGRO component that have got your devices on hold. Let's understand that there is very effective monitoring going on. And we were aware that all states had done their step-down program, agri program, except for about 4 states. Now, I know that Lagos is now out of those 4 states. I think we have about 2 more states that are yet to conclude their agri program. So there is no way that we would release devices to you when you have not yet done your step-down training. The second thing to note as well with those of you in NAGRO is we also are aware that some of you did not show up for your training. Now, the reason why this is inexcusable is because this training was for 4 weeks. Minimum of 3 weeks, maximum of 4 weeks. There is no way in a 3 weeks training, which is 15 days, there's no way you would have been absent for 15 days. There's no excuse. There's no tenable excuse. Or you'd have been absent for 20 days and expect to get a device. So once we get your attendance at the training and we realize that you were absent, we put you immediately on the payment hold and device hold. So and for if you're in that category, the onus is on you to prove otherwise why you were not absent, why you were absent. If you have a genuine reason, like we've had the case of one volunteer who was actually on maternity leave at the time, and when she proved to us that yes, she was on maternity leave and it was an approved maternity leave, I mean, her device will be released and she'll be able to get her device. So you don't need to panic again if you've been told that you're on device hold. What you need to do is to reach out to the support email, the support center, or to the social media. That if you're listening to me or watching me, means that you know how to reach us. Reach out to us with your details. We'll cross-check and we'll tell you. And once you have a tenable excuse, we'll release it. Where you don't, then maybe that's bye-bye from the program. Like I said again, Npower is a serious business, is a serious investment. Still on devices, you will have noticed that we've got a lot of content on those devices, and that's the reason why it actually took quite a bit of time before the devices get to you. We spent quite a bit of time in preloading the content that are on those devices, I would encourage you to please pay attention, explore. You are in your explorative stage, you're a youth, so please explore the content on the device. The devices have been, the content has been sectioned to content that help you to learn, content that help you to deliver, which is really more like your walkthrough, and the content that helps you to prepare yourself for the world of the market, the labor market, the world of work, where you've got a lot more different content around different topics that you can use to develop yourself. So please thoroughly explore and enjoy yourself, but remember that the device is not yet yours. You are on an asset finance for 20 months. You are now in your 11th month. In the month of October now, you're in your 11th month. So the device is still the federal government's property until the 20th month. And when you get into the 20th month, then it becomes your property. What it therefore means is we have gotten also some reports, and I did issue a 10 press release. Those of you who have attempted to sell your device, you have stolen federal government property. So I will advise you, if you sold it, better go retrieve it. If we catch you, because we do have a monitoring tool on those devices, not only would a lien be placed on your account to retrieve the 90,000 value, 4,500 device credit times 20 months, the 90,000 value of this device, a lien will be placed on your account. Beyond that, you would also be prosecuted. So please, you heard it from me, and you've heard it in the press release, and I'm saying it again to you live. If you have attempted to do that, please go retrieve it. If you did not do it and you are thinking of it, stop that act. There's no point going ahead, because we will track it, and we will track it down. For those of you who have sent in some complaints around device change, there is no device change. Let's understand that some of you selected devices, for example, like HP, and we told you that HP was discontinued. Hence, we had to, and we invited you to reselect reselect another device. Now again, along the line, some of you did not also select devices on time, and at the risk of you not getting any device at all, the system pre-selected some devices for you. So, and of course, we also had some of you that had selected certain devices, and at the time when you had selected certain devices, and when those devices were no longer available, for example, the TECNO device, right now we will not be continuing with the TECNO device, so we had to again have the system reselect other devices for you. So that's, so if you notice that, okay, maybe I selected a device and another device is being in your profile, it's because those devices were either discontinued or they were not available for selection at that point in time. So that's it about device. In addition to those of you, so I've mentioned some states that are currently that currently have their devices distribution going on. We also have some devices that are currently in transit. Some states that have their devices in transit. Amongst those states are Bayelsa, Taraba, Yobe, Gombe, Borno, Osun, Kebbi, Kwara, Ekiti, and Nasarawa. I take it again, if you are in any of these states, Bayelsa, Taraba, Yobe, Gombe, Borno, Osun, Kebbi, Kwara, Ekiti, and Nasarawa, your devices are currently on the way. They would arrive your states later on within this week, and perhaps by the weekend. So if you don't get SMS later on this week, I'm sure from next week you will begin to receive SMS to go pick up your devices. Now, there are certain states that we reckon that there are quite a lot of you, and MTN do not have enough reach within those states. And so if we were to just rely on that process alone, it may take forever to complete our distribution. So MTN is planning some ramp-up services. Those of you in Rivers would have witnessed those ramp-up services. Those of you in Abuja, those of you in Lagos would have witnessed some ramp-up services when MTN takes a big facility like an Air Force base and invites thousands of you to come in on a daily basis. So we're planning similar things like that for states like Benue that have got large numbers of devices. We hope to use the Air Force base in Makurdi at some point in time next week. They will let you know. We're planning the same thing for Warri. We will be using the military barracks in Warri. We're planning the same thing for your state. Sometime next week as well, we'll be using the barracks in Mokola in your state. Same thing we are planning in Osun State. We'll be using the army barracks in Ede sometime this weekend. So please just stay tuned to all our channels, but most importantly, you will get an SMS notification. Now, where that fails, because some of you either because you've set your phone to do not disturb or something, you don't get SMS. If you reach out to the support center, they will let you know what your status is. So that's it on devices. I will just quickly also speak to our applicants for still speaking to our 2016 existing volunteers. Redeployment, I have announced to you severally on this via this chat on this channel, and also in all the interactive sessions I've had in the last 18 states a few months ago, that we do not have redeployment in Npower, and for very specific reasons. You're a large number. Right now, you're 200,000 in the program. In a few weeks, your other counterparts, 300,000, will join the program. We don't have the kind of capacity to begin to entertain redeployment for such huge numbers. That's one. Secondly, there really is no reason. I can't understand the reason for redeployment. Unlike NYSC, where you are posted outside of your base, you are the one that have chosen where you want to volunteer by giving us your state of residence. So we collected from you your state of origin and your state of residence, and we deploy you based on your state of residence. So if you've given me that you live your state of residence in Abuja, why then do you want a redeployment to Makurdi? I can't understand it. So please, we only engage redeployment for extraneous reasons, and such extraneous reasons are really perhaps maybe medical issues, which again is not a guarantee. It could be one-on-one. It's got to be on a case-by-case subject issue. So please, the short answer to your request, there is no redeployment in Npower. I think that's the shortest answer. Some of you have also reached out to say that, yes, my friend somewhere got redeployment. Yes, I said to you on this forum many times ago that we did notice that when we did redeployment earlier on, for some of you, because of similarity of locations, for example, Nasarawa exists as a local government in more than one state. So some of you got posted to erroneous states from the beginning, and hence we took notice of those ones, and those redeployments now have been concluded. So I'm sorry to burst your bubble. There is no redeployment in Npower. Especially those of you who are seeking redeployment due to marriage. I think marriage is a good thing. Marriage is a positive thing. I congratulate you. But in African culture, when the man comes to seek your hand in marriage from your father, what he's saying is that he can take responsibility not only for himself but also for you. So if you must relocate because of marriage, I'm sure your capable husband is definitely more than willing to support in ensuring you get settled in that state. But we may not be able to really entertain redeployment based on that. Now, regarding payment, let me update you now that there are 200,000 of you, as you know, that were deployed. As we speak now, 182,347 of you are qualified volunteers. By qualified, I mean that you pass physical verification, your payment, and then, of course, in the process, you've also been NIBS for verification. So that's about 17,000 of you. Out of that number, we have a host of you that have also received waiting list notification before we reopen the portal in June. So that's the status right now. Once we get ready to mobilize the 2017, we'll mobilize those of you also on waiting list, and we'll make up all our numbers. But let me speak to those of you who are part of the 182,347. As of today, only 172,409 of you are able to receive payment. So which means that about roughly about 9,000, 10,000 of you are not able to receive payment. Now, in that category, about 4,418 of you you are not yet NIBS verified, and I will give you a breakdown shortly. 5,520 of you, we don't have account records for you. And quite honestly, this is the 11th month in this program. I'm sorry, for those 5,520 of you, we are going to have to yank you off the program. This is more than half time. I mean, 24 months, your 11th month, you are really going, you're inching very closely to half time. And so that's, but for the 4,418 of you who are somewhat in our payment environment, what we find is that we still have a larger number of you that the BVN you have provided us are not linked to your accounts. So we have 2,656 of you out of this 4,418 of you that your BVN and the account provided are not linked. Now, I'm sorry, we cannot do this work for you because we are also having cases of fraudsters, especially those of you who go to cyber cafes to want to update your records, where imposters and cyber cafes are now trying to hijack your account. Now, the reason why a lot of them have not succeeded is the reason why we have 2,656 of you who are still unpaid. Because the check here for us is that once your BVN does not align with the account details provided us, we do not pay you. And some of you may have gone to cyber cafes, provided the information, but then the cyber cafe person tries to get smarter than you to want to change your account digits. So we have 2,656 of you. We've reached out to you. Up until yesterday, I approved again that they should send notice to you. And we have set a deadline of October 15. If by October 15 you do not regularize, we may have to really yank you off the program. Out of, again, 4,418 of you, I've got 142 of you that you're having issues between the BVN you've given us and your bank also. Perhaps your bank has also updated your BVN. Something has gone wrong. You also know yourselves because we've reached out to you. Please go to your bank and try to resolve it. Now, there are a few of you as well who also, your records are okay, but we can't pay you because your bank returns your money. 269 of you, the issue is your KYC. In other words, your bank has put a hold on your account because you know your customer status in your bank is either something has expired, maybe your ID card has expired or something, so there's a hold. I got such a notice, for example, from one of my banks a few days ago, notifying me that the ID card on my account has expired, so I need to reach my branch with my new renewed ID card. Otherwise, if I were to receive money in that account, it will not go in. So we have 269 of you that have KYC issues with your bank. So the issue now is not that your BVN is not correct or your account number is not correct. Your bank is refusing to credit your account. We've got 3 of you that your issue is with account dormancy. Again, we try to pay you, your records are good, but your account is dormant. So the bank returns your money. We have 55 of you that your accounts have been recently closed. Now remember that sometimes if your account remains in dormancy for too long, they may close your account, or if there's a hold on your account for some reason or the other, or some fraud on your account, they may close your account. I don't know why, but we have 55 of you that your accounts have been recently closed. Again, we try to pay you, the bank return your money. And last but not the least, there are 357 of you that the banks return your money because your account cannot receive up to that amount of money. Now, I've said this often since I've been having this chat, that some of you are using, like, perhaps your NYC account that is profiled to receive only up to 20,000. And so when we try to pay you 30,000, the bank return the money because your account status or your account profile cannot take more than a certain amount of money. That's one. Now, what we have also found, especially those of you who still have complaints around backlogs, some of you fall into this category. Remember, we pay you 30,000 every month, so it's not a problem. But when we are trying to pay you now, maybe your backlog for 6 months, which amounts to 180,000, the bank says your account cannot receive such amount of money. So there are 357 of you. We know you. We've reached out to you. I would advise that reach out again to support, and they will be able to walk you through. It's impossible for me to detail each of you through this chat. But that's the issue about payment. But by and large, about 172,000 of you have been receiving payment, and a huge number of you have celebrated and sent appreciation to us because you've received your backlogs in the last few months. We'll continue to do that for those of you who get qualified, and then who also qualify for backlogs. We continue to process you. I think that's really it for those of you who are in the program. For my friends who are the applicants for the 2017 who are already getting anxious, let me first say that first and foremost, let me give you an assurance that any fake news that you've seen or heard about some list going around, some pay for certain money to ensure you get into a list and all that, please discountenance it with your 2 eyes. It is fake news. Hashtag fake news, capital letter. There is no list that has gone round. We do not entertain we do not entertain lists. You all know, and you can ask your 2016 counterparts. It's a fair process. Everyone gets a stake in the game. Our selection, as you know, has got a few parameters, and there's also what we call, and at best, it's a random algorithm that helps us to select once you meet all the parameters, and which we've discussed over and over again. So please, just stay tuned. Within this month of August, we would make public our pre-selection list. Like you know, in the process started with your application, and then we went on to BVN validation, and then we went on to testing. So the next stage, which you're all anxiously waiting for, is the pre-selection. I am sure within the month of October, we will announce our pre-selection. Then you get invited to go for physical verification, and after physical verification, you then get your final selection and also device selection. So please stay tuned with us, and we will always keep you updated. But I'm sure you will not need to wait longer than this month of October, by the grace of God. Finally, for those of my fellow Nigerians, brothers and sisters who applied for the non-graduate program, and you've been wondering, did you offend the federal government, or why have we forsaken you? Well, I've got good news for you. For the non-graduate program, like you know, there are 3 components there. There's the vocational bit, which is the N-build. There is the technology bit, which is the Npower hardware and N-knowledge hardware and software. And there is the creative, which is the N-knowledge creative. For the N-knowledge creative and hardware and software, I'm sure still within this last quarter, before the final month of this year, we should be able to start the process of deploying you in batches to start your training. However, for those of you who applied for build vocational, we will start to contact some of you. I must first apologize that we have 124,000 applications already as of last year when you applied. But for right now, we would only be deploying the first 20,000. 16,800 will be across the various construction trades, which is carpentry, masonry, painting and decorating, plumbing, electrical and welding, while 3,200 of you will be for automobile trade technician. But the good news is sometime about October 18 thereabout, we should be able to start physical verification for some of you. So we would announce, we will send notification to some of you to come in for physical verification across Nigeria, and hopefully we can get you into your training workshops in the month of November. So please again, MBuild Stay tuned. And knowledge, hardware, software, creative. Stay tuned as well. Within this last quarter, we would ensure that we begin mobilizing you in batches. That's all the good news I've got for you and updates. I would yield the floor for a few comments, since it's a live feed. I don't know what the comments are or questions, and no questions for me. I think everyone is happy. We should have Siri that can read it out. We should have Siri that can read out those questions. Okay, let me scan through some of your comments. So beginning from the top, so criteria for selection, well, we've discussed that quite often. Collect your device, yes. So should I be coming from that? Does this interesting?
Paul Sincere says, upload the paper you're reading from. Let's download and read.
When are we expecting backlogs? I'm still surprised people are asking me for backlogs. A lot of people have gotten backlogs. Bashiru Saliu, what happened to distribution of everyone in Kogi? Well, I've just told you, Kogi just started. So just stay tuned, they would get back to you. My friend under FCT, Aishi, selected developer farmer, has not been paid until now. Is fit in the program. If he has not been paid, I think I've just spoken about payment challenges, so you should reach out to the service center. There's no redeployment. Abdul Semu, I'm sorry, there's no redeployment. For those of us that did sacred, I don't know. Amarachi, I can't read your question. Please, for those of us that did scared through, what is our faith? I don't know what you mean.
Scale through.
That didn't scale through, or that I don't know what scale through is as well. But okay, Isaac Mayanga watching from Kaduna State. Those selected TECNO and everyone have not received their devices. Well, it will come. Like I explained, it takes some time to preload devices and to ship them to you. So just the fact that someone in Kaduna has gotten, you would also get. Don't worry. The attendance marking by a device, it's not working. Okay, at some point we would get across to you. We would have a dedicated session that will walk you through how to get that to work. Okay, I think, what about permanence? Let me ask, I can't get the name. Who asked me that? I think we've said it already. Focus on what Npower is. Npower is a 24-month paid program for you to increase, for you to enhance your employability. If you focus on the program and you get the best out of the program, I'm sure there are many companies out there waiting to hire you when you get done. And again, most governors have also expressed to us their willingness to hire those of you who are top performers. So I don't think you should expect permanence like that. Nothing comes cheap. It's a competition. You got into this program through a competition. Those of you in 2017 stage, you were only going to pick 300,000 out of 2.3 million. So it's a competition. So right there, distinguish yourself to the point that your employers will want to keep you. So there is no free lunch. Adenuga Bolanle, 2017 applicant, I already told you that we will make pre-selection and we will inform you. We will put the pre-selection on the portal, and the focal persons will have a list, and the NOA will also have a list. NYSC applicant, do you have a chance? Sorry, I can't get the name, it's disappeared. Well, You only have a chance if you have concluded NYSC, because if you haven't and we mobilize you for verification any moment from now, if you don't have your NYSC certificate, you cannot stand a chance. You'll be disqualified. Okay, N-Health, your training in Port Harcourt. Well, it's not just in Port Harcourt, it's all across the country. We have not deployed N-Health training, unfortunately, and I think we may just pend N-Health training until the new batch is mobilized, and then they will do the training for all of you at once. Apologies for those of you in N-Health, but I'm aware that a lot of our state partners are already running you through some orientation around public health.
So someone wants to know that this is a 24-month payment program. So if they don't get paid, for those that were not paid in December, what will happen? When will they get their 24th month?
What do you mean you are not paid in December? If you are not paid in December, you didn't qualify for December. So December is a peculiar month. You only pay those that we received that were verified. Let me explain that this is not free money, guys. Let's get real. It's not free money, it's payment for work done. And before you even do work, there's a process to be followed. Physical verification is sine qua non for you to get even into the program. So you cannot not have done physical verification, or you did physical verification at the tail end of the month, and we only got your names in January and expect to be paid for December. Same, and let me use this, still talking about this, Lagos volunteers. Lagos volunteers. Lagos volunteers. I say this again 3 times. You all know that your physical verification happened in the month of February. So let me not hear again this talk about demanding for payment for December, January. The next time I hear it, you risk leaving the program. This is payment for work done. You did not work in December. You did not work in January because you were not even verified. You only got verified in February and you started to earn in February. So I should not hear that again. And clearly, this is also important for you to note. I'm also aware that in Lagos, a lot of you have not even been deployed. So, and you have been paid. You're not complaining about that. But the months that you were not deployed, neither were you verified, you are trying to get money. So please, it is not freebie. And if you think it is, go and ask those who are currently on payment hold. And go and ask them for what they need to do before they are regularized. And when they are regularized, you don't get backlogs. So it is not, it's not a joke. It's serious business. Did you tell me date when 2017? This I didn't tell you any date. I just said in the month of October we would make pre-selection announcements. So stay tuned. Oyeda Nursery. Hafiz Lawal, you applied for MBuild. I've just told you about MBuild. Yes. So we are working with the 2016 application details, and we'll be picking some of you across country within this month to go for physical verification. Specific date for pre-selection, I'm sorry, there's no specific date. You will know when it is out. Well, I think there's been nothing again here. Everything you talked about, I've mentioned. Ondo, I've still, Moses, Mayowa, Duloju, you were talking about Ondo. I think I mentioned that Ondo devices are currently in Ondo now. So you would, if you are part of batch A and you don't have payment hold, there are 2 centers in Ondo Town and in Akure. Within the MTN centers where I'm sure you will get an SMS soon to pick up your device. NTAX, my team have done a good job in always intimating me about NTAX. NTAX is a partnership with the Federal Ministry of Finance, the Inland Revenue Services, both federal and state, and the VADES team, the Voluntary Asset and Investment and Income Declaration Program. So all we did is that they leverage on our platform for application and for testing. Right now, the process is driven purely. I think you keep exploring other opportunities. If you're qualified, there's nothing I can do. Hopefully, the reason why you are disqualified, if you have it now in 2017 and you reapply, let's see that you will be selected. I think, Sasha Day Franca, you said some colleagues got, yes. Let's remember that the devices are not running away. And the devices have arrived Ogun State. They are going to be sending you texts in batches. it's not possible for us to invite all of you to come to one center one day. So they'll be sending you checks in batches. Some centers is batches of 50, some is batches of 100, some is batches of 150. So there's no need to panic. I've said it again and again. No need to panic if you're in batch A and you have no payment hold, and you selected your device before March 27, meaning you're in batch A, you will get an information. Thank you very much. I wish you all the best, and I'm sure we will keep tab through this platform. You know how to reach us. You're watching me, or you're interacting with me, is because you know that we are live on Facebook. We're also live on Instagram. We're live on Twitter. We're live on, of course, you've got the support emails by which to reach us. You've got your help desk on the MPBN portal where you all belong to reach us. And of course, you also have all the telephone lines wherein our support team are doing a great job being able to attend to your calls between 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. I think on that note, I will say again, please, this is about your future. Service your future. Those of you who are here during the Experience NG program, you know what service your future means. Service your future. Ensure that you use this program to build your passion to profit. Ensure that you use this program, to collaborate, which is it takes a village campaign to collaborate, form cooperatives, see how through cooperatives you can also partake of the other social investment program, the Jeep program, and things like that. Be beneficial to your community. And as we are bound in those, also understanding that Npower is about principles of employability. It's about life skills. It's about attitude. Is it the right attitude? It's about thinking skills, problem solving. As you are bound in those, I am sure, I'm convinced that not only with your current employer, I want to consider you for some level of permanence, but other employers out there are willing to receive you. Every day I keep getting resignation letters, which we celebrate, and we commend those who have exited because they've gotten other jobs. I'm sure yours will come in no distant time. Till we meet again, have a good evening. Enjoy your weekend. God bless you.